everybody. Welcome to another Thursday edition of your favorite sports talk show right here on the campus of UW Whitewater, streaming on UWW-TV and, of course, live on 91.7 The Edge, WSUW Whitewater. I'm Nolan Kapodlowski, joined by my hosts. We got a sports journalism student back for coming out of retirement, Sierra Featherly. She was here on the spring semester last year. And then we got Colin, we got Alex in the fishbowl for today, nice and toasty in there, and we got Mason. Missing Zach, but we are going to have a great show regardless. How are we all feeling today on a dreary, rainy Thursday?
Terrible. Everything's drenched. Everything I own is drenched.
Yeah, I had to switch backpacks today, and then I got in an argument with parking services over why we can't just drive to class.
Yeah, that's...
And now I got a wet laptop and wet papers, so...
Just send them the bill. Just send them the bill. I mean, they put random bills on our cars all the time, so, you know.
For real.
It's been a day.
It has been a day.
You and I both know it's been a day.
It has been a day. I'm not going to lie. It has been a day. But I'm going on a little mini vacay this weekend, so I'm very excited. It's just so glad, after this, it's done. My week is done.
A little weekend getaway?
A little weekend getaway. Little nice little retreat. Sierra, welcome back. How does it feel to be back on Hawk Talk?
I won't lie, I did miss being on Hawk Talk, and I'm happy to be back. It was bringing back some memories from almost a year ago now.
Yeah,
a year ago.
Missed it so much you decided to come back just purely out of voluntary reasons and definitely not because you need it for a class or anything.
Yeah, definitely not. I'm definitely not required to be here. I'm doing this all on my own.
That's exactly right. All right, well, let's dive right into it then as we have a Warhawk Thought here today. It's my first Warhawk Thought in a month because I just did obscure sports for 3 straight weeks because I was switching shows and such. So, and what a Warhawk Thought we have here. So Aaron Rodgers and Steph Curry both came out a couple days ago and did talk about getting involved in politics. Now, we are not going to get very political. We're not going to get political at all here. This is purely from a sports standpoint. Do you think that athletes could have a good career switching over to politics? Would you say that retiring from athletics to go into politics is a good idea? Again, without getting too political here, because, again, we're on campus airways.
Let's bring up the mask mandate.
Let's not. We're going to steer clear of that. But Aaron Rodgers was thrown out as a vice presidential candidate. Steph Curry said that he'd like to be president. I mean, who here would like to see a President Curry, huh?
I think he would genuinely be a good president.
Yeah. I mean, he would be like...
I don't know what his policies would be, but that man,
he doesn't have to have any policies.
He's got the charm.
He could just come up on the debate stage and be like, set a hoop over there and just swish it, and then be like, everybody would vote for him.
The ball's in Russia's court now.
Yeah,
Steph Curry nails a 50-foot bomb.
But I mean, could you even fathom Aaron Rodgers retiring from the Jets? The Jets really got the low end of the deal if this pans out.
That would be straight out of a South Park episode.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't understand it. Especially after some of the quotes he's had, just trying to, focus on winning. I'm not going to say the other part of that quote, but he's trying to keep everything team-wise, and he said that everything needs to be team-wise, and he's not keeping everything team-wise.
He's like, let's keep distractions out of the locker room and stuff like that. And now he's just like, he's like, I might be vice president, guys.
Here we go.
What I think, and not to get too into the actual political side of it, but I think RFK was just trying to, get some publicity by throwing out
that's what I was kind of saying.
It's NFL quarterback, my vice president. Now everybody's talking about it. We're talking about it.
Right.
So.
I mean, he's an independent candidate, trying to get a little more traction and stuff like that. It's not the worst idea, if it is all a ruse. But if it's not, I mean, I just couldn't,
chaos.
Aaron Rodgers on, a debate stage with, actual, candidates. You would have Vice President Kamala Harris up there, and then you'd have, whoever the other guy picks. So it's just it'd be crazy. It'd be mind-blowing. Actually something I never thought I would see in my lifetime.
It'd be good entertainment. But
I think the Steph thing was just, straight speculation, though. They were like, would you run for president? He's like...
Maybe.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'll use my influence for good. But dude, Steph's softer than a parfait. I don't think he can handle it.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I don't think that they're really going to get involved in it. I think it's all just kind of publicity at this point.
They
But
can
just
barely run an offense now.
it's the fact that it was like both on the same day, and they're both talking about it. It's just like it had to be brought up.
I think
you know.
it would kind of be like when Arnold Schwarzenegger was
Yeah,
governor of California.
exactly,
like,
right?
oh, look, this guy, you know his name. He shoots threes. He's the president now. Vote him.
Right. And I mean, like, it would be purely name recognition because, I
Yeah.
mean, like, they'd have no political experience whatsoever. It's just like, yeah, I hold the record for most threes in the NBA. Vote
I
for
do
me.
not want to see Steph Curry ruin his legacy by having some whack policies.
Yeah,
Gets us into like
it's-
World War III. It's like, oh, well, at least he made the most threes of all time.
I mean, it would just be such like a fever dream if any of those things
Yeah.
happen. But
Clay Thompson in the Oval Office. Russia just
Clay Thompson is the vice president.
Clay Thompson, Draymond Green is in the Senate.
Draymond Green, bro, put him as the head of the
Yeah.
army or whatever.
Right.
In a debate, Clay would just be like,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's just our little touching on the whole the scene there again without getting too political. So we just wanted to. I mean, it was big news. So you know, it had to be talked about in my opinion because it's big time headlines there. So we're gonna move on now though to Sierra's topic, our sports journalism spotlight, and she is going to be talking about the NHL trade deadline, which took place just about a week ago. So Sierra, tell us more about the trade deadline.
Yeah, so like Nolan said, last Friday, March 8th, was the 2024 NHL trade deadline. The organizations had up until 3 p.m. Eastern time to make all their trades, and some teams did go up to the very last minute. For the trade, for some teams, it's about setting up for a long playoff run, like the Panthers and the Hurricanes. Or for others, it's about setting up for the future of the organization, like the San Jose Sharks, who completely traded away most of their star players to set up for a complete rebuild mode once again.
Yeah, how many times has that happened?
Lots. And they're still trying. Props to them for that, though. Some of the trades this year that stuck out to me was the Florida Panthers acquired Vladimir Tarasenko from the Ottawa Senators. The Tampa Bay Lightning acquired Anthony Duclair and a 7th-round 2025 draft pick from the San Jose Sharks. The Hurricanes acquired forward Jake Rinzel and defenseman Ty Smith from the Pittsburgh Penguins. Tyler Toffoli adds a 4th Canadian team to his NHL timeline after being traded to the Winnipeg Jets by New Jersey. The Vegas Golden Knights acquired Thomas Hertl from the San Jose Sharks. And lastly, at the very end, at the buzzer, there was a goalie swap between the New Jersey Devils and the San Jose Sharks. Vitek Vanacek and a 7th-round 2025 draft pick are headed to San Jose in exchange for Capo Canoan? I can never pronounce that last name.
It's a tough last name. Yeah.
And that trade did stand out to me because Vitek is now headed to San Jose to be paired up once again with Mackenzie Blackwood, which was the two of them were the goalie tandem in New Jersey last year when the Devils were having quite a good season. So I just think out of all these trades, or do you guys think there are any trades that I didn't cover that were pretty big? Or out of these trades, who do you think won? It's my topic.
Anybody got a trade they want to talk about right off the bat?
yes, I'd immediately like to get into the Tarasenko trade.
Here, I'm gonna have you switch over to that seat real quick, just because we can't hear you on
Yeah.
this side.
I was hoping that wasn't my headset.
Yeah,
right
no,
there.
it's
Oh.
all right. So then, before we get to last, anybody else got one that we want to talk about quickly here? I will ask you, Sierra. So you're a New Jersey Devils fan. So what was your thoughts on the goalie swap? Were you a fan of it or not?
I mean, Vanacek hasn't been doing much well. Nothing on this team has been going well. The goalie.
It's been a rough season. Yeah.
It's been a very, very rough season. Lots of injuries. I think it's interesting to be completely rebuilding our goalie tandem with like a month left of the season. So I think that's a bold move by New Jersey, and I was very sad to see Tyler Toffoli go. I will still be cheering for him while he's on the Jets, but that was a hard one to let go.
I mean, yeah, and the Winnipeg Jets. It's like it's not the best place to go to. It's like it's a tough crowd there still.
To only get 2 picks in return
Yeah.
really hurts.
I mean, but you really hit the nail on the head with San Jose. I mean, the Sharks they were giving up everything, and they've had a rough stretch for like a long time. Like to put it into like NBA terms, like we're talking about like before last year, like the Kings level type. Not exactly that long, but like they've had a rough stretch for the past couple of years. Ever since what was it, like 2014 that they made the Stanley Cup Finals or something like that, I think, against the Kings, and that was really the last time that they
It's been a while.
kind of did anything. Yeah. But as you were saying, Alex,
Can you hear me now?
a little bit. I'm not sure. There we go. Right? Can
Hello?
Yep.
Yes, there
we
we
can
go.
hear him. Yeah. There we go.
Okay, all
Okay. Technical difficulties worked out live on air. That's good.
That just like built up even more hatred I have right now because I'm about to get into Vladimir Tarasenko. As a Chicago fan, I was so sick of seeing him cook on the Blues every single time we played him. Every playoff series against St. Louis, that man just turned into Wayne Gretzky. It was disgusting to see, and I hate that he went to Florida because Florida's already good, and now he's just on another good team. But I am happy to see that he's been tossed around the league a little bit. He's just been bouncing from team to team. Like, I didn't even know he played for Ottawa. That blew my mind, that he got traded from Ottawa. I'm sick of him. He needs to retire. Please, for the love of God, retire. And I mean, I know he doesn't play in St. Louis anymore, but like I said a couple weeks ago about the Nets, like that's exactly how I feel about St. Louis. Like their downfall just means everything to me.
All right. So obviously we got a lot of hatred there in the fishbowl. It's just it's overflowing.
It's
almost.
hot in here too.
It is.
I can keep going.
It's getting upset.
It's like a
here.
witch's
Getting hotter. Yeah,
Throwing
exactly.
in a
Don't
little
get me
bit of extra
started about
Like
heat.
there's
Jake
steam
Gensel.
coming out of the door right now. Like it's
Tyler
crazy.
Toffoli. Oh my gosh.
Anybody else got any trades that they want to go over? Thought that were the best ones.
I thought the Golden Knights really took advantage of like a situation that they were in. They
Thank you.
Definitely, kind of going for Stanley Cup number 2 in a row. They got Thomas Hurdle, and then it's Hannafin, if I'm correct. Is that how you say it? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they definitely needed those guys, kind of like some top guys at their position, like a top 4 defenseman and a top 6 forward for another run at another Stanley Cup title. And I think it's kind of interesting to see that they definitely took advantage of the run that they're currently on in comparison to we've talked about with San Jose, where they're just kind of like, oh, let's tank again.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely interesting to kind of see like how teams structure themselves at the trade deadline, and specifically, I think isn't Vegas now over the cap as well?
It wouldn't surprise me. I'm not 100% sure, but it wouldn't surprise me because they're kind of going all in right now.
Yeah.
They traded multiple first-round picks to get these guys. Thomas Hurdle was a huge acquisition. They have not yet really had that kind of spurt for their season. I mean, they're sitting in 4th place in the Pacific Division. But yeah, I mean, it's been rough sledding for them. They're still going to make the playoffs right now. As of right now, they'd still be in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But I think that these moves are definitely going to help them get back up to that like Stanley Cup level that they were at last year, as they're going to compete with the Canucks, the Oilers, teams like that, the Avalanche again in the Western Conference. So, Sierra, any other trades that you wanted to highlight besides the Devils swap of the goalies? That you thought maybe were the most impactful?
For me, I'm a big Tyler Toffoli fan. So that one, when I was writing this article, I had to put it in there as the first one I put in there because it just hurt so much. But at the end of the day, Jersey needed to do it because they were trying to extend his contract and they weren't agreeing on terms. And he's supposed to be a UFA this summer. So at the end of the day,
It's probably a good move to move
it was a
off
good
them.
move to get rid of him, but I'm still hurt by it.
Are you a
Yeah.
Devils fan?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say if you're a Hawks fan, you'd hate Tyler Toffoli too. Again, when he played for the Kings, they just cooked us. They cooked
Is there
us.
a dead horse that you're beating back there, or what?
It's just like I don't want to get into it because some things might be said about these players. But like all those guys from like when I was growing up watching, like I just looked it up. Tarasenko's got 33 points in 34 games against the Hawks. That sucks, dude.
Yeah,
Like
that's
contain
rough.
That. Contain that, Toffoli played on that Kings team.
It's like Jimmy Butler against the Bucks.
don't like Jimmy Butler either. That's a whole nother topic, though.
A whole topic on players he doesn't like.
Yeah. Yeah.
It should be.
I know more about the players I don't like than the players I do, for
That's-
sure.
That
That's
just
just
means you're
like
a
next
negative
level
Nancy.
hatred right
He's
there.
gonna get
Yeah.
a scholarship.
Next
and
level
hate it.
hating, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
D1
I
hater.
just
How
like
would
Jake
fe-
Gensel too, like when he played on Pittsburgh. Ugh.
how it feels to wake up and hate.
Yeah,
Feels good, doesn't
feels
it?
good. Feels real good.
Colin, your thoughts on any of the trades that happened here?
Yeah, I definitely think the Sharks just like y'all already hit on that once again.
Yeah.
Just going
Cleaned
into the
house.
rebuilding, just nothing really going. I mean, yeah, they're just tanking again. I saw that they are gonna they're retaining Hurdle's salary, so I think that's gonna hurt them.
Yeah.
In the long run, when it comes to cap space, especially as a rebuilding team. Also saw that the Oilers made some moves.
They're going for a big playoff push too again after disappointing end last year.
They acquired Adam Henrique, Sam Carrick, and Tony Stetcher, so we'll see how that plays out from them. But from what I've heard, those guys are all kind of mid. And with the acquisitions that they traded for them, they could have gone bigger, could have gone for one really, really good stud instead of just three, I don't know, are there role players in hockey?
Yeah.
But just kind of mid guys.
Yeah.
So
Guys who
interesting
aren't the
moves from
superstars,
the Oilers
yeah.
there, and heard some bad things about the president / manager of the Oilers, Ken Holland. People were saying he sucks. So
Yeah. That doesn't surprise. I mean, to be honest, like most owners probably suck.
yeah, true.
Except unless you're Steve Ballmer. He's like the only good one. So
He's a cool guy.
yeah. Which team do you think out of every single team that like made a move is going to be better off? Like which team will ultimately benefit the most from all the collective moves they made? Maybe not just one. I'm going to say this is a complete homer pick, but I'm just going with the Golden Knights because that's my take on it. But I mean, there are plenty of other teams that certainly could have a case made for them. So we'll start Sierra.
For me, I think it's the Panthers
Yeah.
picking up Tarasenko with their already star-studded roster.
They were stacked last year, and they're
Yeah.
stacked again this year.
I think they're gonna make a push this year, a far one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colorado Avalanche. They added Casey Middlestat and Sean Walker. Casey's a really good playmaker, so two good pieces to add to make a deep push.
Brandon Duhaime too. They got a lot of good guys. Yeah.
They also gave away Byram, a young guy who wasn't really panning out for them, so just kind of needed to change the scenery, so they got him out of there. So I think that was a good move for them, and I think they got better, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Mason.
I'm gonna agree with you on the Golden Knights. Just getting Hannafin and Hurdle, they're top guys at their positions. They're primed and ready for another deep run, and they want to take advantage of it.
Do you think they're winning the Stanley Cup again this year?
I think so.
Let's go. Come on, baby. All right, Alex.
Deep sigh.
I hate to say it, but I think the Florida Panthers definitely getting Tarasenko. Granted, he's getting up there in age, but like,
This is a good veteran piece.
yeah, I mean, hockey players don't age like
Yeah.
that bad,
Sidney Crosby's still playing,
Yeah. Hate him too. But I mean, Florida already did have a stacked roster last year. I think adding Tarasenko, just adding another guy who can handle and shoot the puck well, has good, almost said court vision. Ice
vision.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Frozone power
Yeah.
from The Incredibles. Yeah.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
It's going to be
That sucks because he's on another good team. Another good team. Stop it.
It's going to be very interesting to see how everything shakes out. I mean, I don't watch a ton of hockey until it gets to the Stanley Cup playoffs, and then I really start to watch it. And last year was just a crazy run of a year, and I remember, watching the Golden Knights go on their run and just hoping every single time. Because I to be fair, I'm no bandwagon, okay? I said I'm a fan of Vegas ever since that they started their franchise. Like 2017, I'm like, I don't really follow hockey. But don't make me shaking his head, hating all these NHL players now.
He's
hating
ready to
on
hate
me.
on you
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
exactly.
He's
turning to everybody else.
Turning his iron sights towards you.
I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. The Hawks are so bad. I can't do it.
So you're gonna make everybody feel worse
It's
because
tough.
you feel
It's
worse.
tough. You guys had
Yes.
so many championships in a row. Don't even give me. You guys.
It was
you
like
guys.
three. It was like three.
It was
Three
just
more
a
than-
three-peat.
Yeah, it's
It was
just a three-peat
Just one of
compared.
the rarest.
You know how bad a
achievements in
Sharks
sports.
fan would want a three-peat?
Even just one.
Yeah,
These poor Sharks
right.
fans.
I just
I
want to
feel bad
say,
for 'em.
I think that it's crazy that the Golden Knights became a team in 2017. And now they're already seeing this much success. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
for sports in general, I mean, to become a team, most of the time, you're going to have a draft where they can protect some players, so you're not going to get the best guys, and then
Right.
normally it takes a couple decades before you can be in contention. But for them to already have won a Stanley Cup and potentially 2 in a row now is kind of crazy.
and they went to the Stanley Cup
Yeah.
final their first year of existence. They
I was
went
just
to
gonna
it.
Bring that up.
Yeah,
What?
and
That's insane.
who beat them? It was the Lightning, I think. I'm pretty sure. Was it the Lightning against them, or is either them or the maybe? Or no, it was the Capitals. It was the Capitals beat them that year. But yeah, I mean that was crazy to see like an expansion team
Yeah.
just go off like that, and even Seattle. Only in like 2 years had a nice
Kraken.
run, and the Kraken had a nice run last year. So
W team name.
W team, W
I might be
logo.
a fan of them. I mean, I'm not a fan of any NHL team, so I
Yeah,
might
go
hop
go
the
jump on
bandwagon.
Seattle Kraken, or
Don't be a Hawks fan.
don't be a Hawks fan. Be a Nashville Predators fan too, because that's where all the Milwaukee Admirals players get sent up to. So
Being a Hawks fan is legitimately the equivalent of being like a Spurs fan right now. Like they have one good dude.
Is
about
he
it.
Yep.
is he like Wemby good? Because I wouldn't mind being a Spurs fan.
Connor
right now.
Bedard.
You got-
Yeah,
you
I'd
got
say
good years ahead.
Bedard's pretty.
Yeah.
He's pretty decent.
he was like
for a rookie.
he was like the Wemby level like hype to a draft pick.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
He's small though. He's like 5'9".
I'm a fan
Hey.
of free agents.
Yeah, what do you
kidding.
have against 5'9" people?
This is like a professional athlete.
yeah, I know.
Well, it's
I'm-
hockey. You don't really need to be tall.
Yeah,
maybe.
right.
You don't need to be. It doesn't hurt.
It hurts
know.
when you get into those fights with those big
Yeah.
guys.
I mean,
knock your
Matt
teeth out.
Rempe,
You could slip,
Matt Rempe
catch
is
him
the
with an uppercut.
baddest
Yeah.
dude in the NHL right now.
All right, before we start getting too far off the trail, thank you, Sierra, for bringing in that
You're
topic
welcome.
for NHL trade deadline. And now we're going to switch gears back into the NFL and a show, something that people have been talking about for like every Hawk Talk show this week. But we need to talk about it too because now the dust has kind of settled. When they talked about it on Monday and Tuesday, stuff was still kind of going down. And we're also going to kind of pivot our focus from what happened to what could still happen. There's still plenty of good free agents out there. There are still maybe trades to be made. I mean, T. Higgins, who got franchise tagged, made a trade request from the Bengals. Who knows where he could go? I mean, there's already been bigger signings in the last couple of days, like Calvin Ridley. I mean, Desmond Ritter got traded. That was like the
Sam
biggest
Howell.
trade. Sam Howell. Not as big as Desmond Ritter, but still big, because Desmond Ritter's the best in the league, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
But, yeah, so,
He
I
was
mean,
the best in the league when he played the Packers. Like week
yeah,
two.
no kidding. Turned into prime Tom Brady
I
when
mean,
he...
Howell finished top 10 in the league in passing yards. I mean, that's
Sam
what make
Howell's
him
good. That's all I'm going to say. Sam Howell is a good guy, is a good quarterback, and he was stuck behind a bad O-line, and I think that whenever Geno Smith decides to retire, it's going to be his time.
You sure it's not going to be a competition?
I mean, it very well could be. I still think they're going to give the nod to Geno, but Geno Smith had one good year. Like everybody likes the quote of like, they wrote me off, I didn't write back, but it's like,
Hard.
yeah, it was
Hard.
extremely hard. Like, should be on a T-shirt, but like as far as like doing well in the NFL, like well, he took him to the playoffs as a 5 seed, okay, and then lost to San Francisco. Okay, and then lost and didn't get to the playoffs last year, and I think it's just going to be kind of on a decline. Like it was like a roller coaster where it's like way up here at his draft stock, and then boom, he comes down all the way when he goes to the Jets and stuff like that. He comes up for the little hill on the Seahawks, and now he's coming back down. So Sam Howell is going to be a future star in this league. I don't know, bookmark this, come back to it 5-10 years later. I don't care, but Sam Howell is going to be a superstar quarterback in this league.
Is that like the Kirk Cousins is a top 5 quarterback type of level we're talking here from earlier this week or last week?
I mean, I don't know who said Kirk Cousins is a top 5 quarterback. I hope that they're in the insane asylum now, but
He's a
it's-
Titans fan, so he's riding the high right now.
I mean, geez, Kirk Cousins is not in the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. That's all I'm going to say.
I'd
But
give him top 10 before
Yeah.
the Achilles injury.
top 10 is fair.
Now I have no
top
idea.
5?
I have no idea.
No, thank you.
Top 5 is crazy. I mean, who did he put him ahead of?
He said ahead of Kyler. He said a lot. Well, he says he
Well, obviously
misspoke.
Kyler.
Ahead of
yeah.
Kyler, yeah.
He says he misspoke, but
Oh,
He's backtracking.
Mm-mm.
You
You're
got to
gonna make a
stick
hot
with your
take.
guns.
You're gonna make a hot take. You got to stick
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, let's get into the topic here. We are going to focus on which teams won and lost free agency so far of all their moves collectively. And we'll also discuss some of the bigger moves maybe that happened here if we want to shout out a few of them. And again, we're going to talk about what is still yet to come, what's going to happen to T. Higgins, what will happen with David Bakhtiari, who are we still waiting to sign that we think where could they go. So we'll start it over with Alex in the fishbowl. And Alex, your thoughts on who won and lost free agency?
Well, first I want to say Bakhtiari's probably going to sign to like his living room, his couch.
He's going to the
The
Jets.
doctor's
He's going
office.
to the Jets.
Yes.
I can't believe he hasn't already
He's
signed
going
with
to
the
the
Jets.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Pittsburgh lost. They got Russell Wilson for like a penny, you know?
And he's still getting
For
paid by the
nothing, yeah.
Broncos,
And
too.
$35 million is getting paid by the Broncos this year.
Yeah, and I mean, hear me out. Hear me out. He didn't play that horrendous last season.
He didn't.
No, I don't think
that's
that's a
not a
hot
bad
take
take
at
at
all.
all.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Glad to see that
It's
we're
more
all
of
in
an
agreement there.
organizational issue, I'd say.
Yeah, it was Sean Payton. He hated him.
And I think, you know,
He's almost as good of a hater as Alex, man.
I
Yeah,
think Kenny
exactly.
Pickett's the worst.
Yeah.
So
He's.
I
yeah,
think that's a
he's
big
bad.
W for them to just bring in a veteran quarterback,
Yep.
not Kenny Pickett, get him next to David Bakhtiari, you know.
Well, I mean,
the
honestly,
living
let-
room.
Couch Crusaders.
Let
Yeah,
Kenny
the living
Pickett
room
let
league.
Kenny Pickett learn behind it because Kenny
Yeah,
Pickett I
yeah.
think could be a decent and he's not going to be a star by any means, but he could be a decent quarterback if he sits behind like a Russell Wilson for a few years. He was just kind of thrown into the fire.
It's going to be like a Drew Lock.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe a little bit better than Drew Lock, but
Definition of mid.
I don't know. Dude,
Yeah,
Drew Lock
yeah.
is worse than mid. He had
Yeah.
one good game against the Eagles, like
Below average NFL career.
for sure. Like bench,
I mean, if you don't
bench
start,
warmer.
that's already
Yeah.
Yeah.
way below average, you know.
To be fair, like he's getting paid good money to just ride the bench, basically. So it's major props to him, but
Which is like another, like, why can't I do that? you
I've
know?
said this before.
I'll
a
step
bench
up in a
rider
big
in the
moment for the
NFL or
right amount of
NBA
money.
or pro sports has got to be the best job in the league or in the world. Like,
Yeah, you have to
don't
just
have
practice.
all that pressure on you. You just pull up, sit on the bench, put a good fit on, and
Some Gatorade,
you
choose
make
some
a-
sunflower
Make
seeds.
a couple mil.
You're telling me for 10 million, like, you just meant, oh,
You get
jeez.
front row
You just,
seats.
like, mentally could not step up in a big moment. Like, dude,
Okay.
I'm standing up Derrick Henry for the right amount of money.
yeah, okay,
You know,
okay.
You're getting run over by Derrick Henry.
For
but
10 mil?
At least
Go
you'll
ahead.
catch the bag.
Yeah,
I mean,
At
for
least you'll
10
catch
mil,
the bag.
I would gladly.
I'd lose a
lay
limb
down.
for 10 mil.
I'd lay down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a running back for the Bengals that's made $3.6 million and not had a single touchdown in his NFL career. I mean, why can't I be that?
There we go.
never had
Him and I have
an
the
NFL
same amount of
touchdown.
touchdowns, and I'm $3.6 million less
Yeah,
rich than
right.
him.
We're talking about winners, correct?
Winners and losers, yeah.
Do I want to be as negative as you? That's the real
Oh,
question.
yeah, dude.
You cannot
You're in the
be- you cannot
fishbowl.
be
The
as
fishbowl of
negative,
hates
so.
today.
I'm going to go with the loser then, because I'm in the fishbowl. What is Chicago doing with Justin Fields? Like, you waited this
Maybe
long.
keeping
Keeping
him.
him.
I don't know. It
You
seems like
can't
they're.
keep him.
Keeping him
You
and
can't keep him.
drafting.
Why not? You know,
They're no.
that would be the smart thing to do.
Okay.
Does Chicago ever really know what it's doing?
No.
Never,
Not
never.
at
As,
this
as a
point.
whole, the whole city.
Not in
What are you
any
The whole
doing?
city.
My thing is I like Caleb. I know that might be a hot take because it seems every single show I'm on,
We
everybody
don't like
hates
Caleb Williams on Hawk
Yeah.
Talk.
We do have some. I mean, it's like not crazy breaking
signed
news,
where?
but AJ Dillon is expected to re-sign with the Green Bay Packers,
Hey,
Okay,
yeah, there we go. I like
As
to
long
hear
as
that.
it's not a lot of money.
pending
sure.
a physical.
I
So
love
that
AJ
is
Dillon.
what we just got on the old
The old Twitter
on the
machine.
old Twitter machine
Excited
there.
to keep watching him stream Farm Simulator.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right. Exactly. Like him and Kurt Betancourt. We should bring Kurt Betancourt
Betancourt,
back.
dude.
Betancourt should
Yeah.
Did you
come
see
back
that
to the
video where
team.
Back.
he brought out the Packers playbook and used it on Madden?
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Yeah, he's crazy good at streaming and stuff now. Like
Yeah.
he's getting pretty popular,
Yeah.
honestly. Do you have any winners in there?
Winners, Washington.
Team? Washington. Okay.
I know they haven't done like any big name signings technically.
Eckler.
I mean, he's getting up there. I mean, two of their biggest needs were along the offensive line. They signed Nick Allegretti to be their left guard, and then Tyler Biadasz from Dallas. Right now, you got Marcus Mariota as your starting quarterback. Cool. Nice.
Cool.
Well, obviously they're drafting
Yeah,
somebody.
they're taking Jaden.
Dude, I think they're gonna. I still stick with if it's not Chicago, it will be Washington. Washington
yeah.
will trade up for
I mean, they got the
Caleb
draft
Williams.
capital now. They
No,
got
exactly.
6 picks in the
They
top
just
100 now.
They just traded Sam Howell for what? It was like a third and a
round
fifth.
pick. Yeah, third and fifth, and they
So-
gave up a fourth and a sixth.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
They
And I
haven't
mean,
made necessarily any bad signings. They've added some 3 pieces to their pass rush with Dorrance Armstrong, Clelin Farrell, and forgetting the last one as my laptop just died right in front of me, but that's all right. They also
Huh.
signed Jeremy Chin. I
your
feel like they're-
laptop's a hater.
Yeah, this room is
The
just
energy in that
hate-
room.
yeah.
Negative energy.
I'm gonna have to bring out the phone, but I just feel like Washington with a new GM, new coaching staff, new owner, they're finally resetting what they should have done so long ago. I like the direction they're going, and I hope they make the right decision after Chicago makes the right decision by taking Caleb Williams. That's a hot take. I'm sorry.
Well, Washington, for running backs though, did they get rid of? They got rid of Gibson. I'm pretty sure,
Gibson
right?
went to New England, yeah.
Gibson went to New England.
Yep.
Did they get rid of Brian Robinson?
he's still there.
He's still there. So they're gonna
Yes.
have a 1-2 punch with Eckler and
I think
Robinson.
Eckler might just be the third down guy.
You think so?
Yeah.
Can we
They
talk
paid
about
him quite a
Austin Eckler's downfall here? He was a second overall, not just second, in the first round. He was second overall pick in fantasy football this year. And he just had a disastrous downfall. Like, he's going to be like a 5th, 6th round pick next year, I feel like.
I like the signing because I got him in Dynasty, so I'm happy with the signing.
I mean, yeah, maybe not 5th, 6th round, but he's going to
No.
be he's not in the first round.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be in the second round either. Like,
No.
nobody trusts him. The downfall will be studied, and they'll make a 30 for 30 about it.
Yeah, insane downfall. But anyways, I got a couple of winners, but I'm going to be a homer. I'm going to talk about the Packers a little bit. Obviously,
go.
losing Aaron Jones and going to the Vikings. Everybody hates that. Everybody's upset.
Very
Everybody's
heartbreaking.
feeling fishbowl energy about that move.
Very
Yep.
much. I'm
But-
angry.
Getting Josh Jacobs, younger, arguably better. I mean, we don't know how good Aaron Jones is going to
He
be
is
in,
better.
in a new system
He is
and
better.
with his age. Younger and better at the running back. That's exactly what you like to see. And then, as you just said, likely keeping A.J. Dillon, so another backup guy who can come in and push the rock a little, get you those 1-2 yards on a 3rd and short or 4th and short. And then Xavier McKinney.
Love it.
That was huge.
Love
That
it.
was huge.
That was one of the biggest problems for the Packers last year was the defense in the secondary. And so getting a safety out there, a stud safety like Xavier McKinney to come just help that defensive unit out is super huge. And then losing Bakhtiari, he never played for us anyways.
Yeah,
Lost
right.
Owens.
13 games in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
He was
Lost
going to make
Owens.
$40 million this year.
It's insane.
Owens was only there so Simone Biles could be at the games anyways. So
Right.
What do you mean? There's no connecting flights now to Chicago.
What is the Packers fans' obsession with Simone Biles?
she's our Taylor Swift.
She was,
basically.
yeah,
She's a
she was
queen.
our Taylor
She is?
Swift.
Okay.
She was
And she's a
Jonathan
gold
Owens.
medalist.
Jonathan Owens' wife.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Jonathan Owens is Simone Biles' husband.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
when I was doing my NFL, research Tuesday for Hawk Talk, it had everybody's names and then it said Simone Biles' husband.
Oh my gosh.
What's his name?
Jonathan
Jonathan
Owens.
Owens.
Yeah, Jonathan Owens, and I was like,
That's his claim to fame.
Yeah.
Not an NFL
That is his
player.
claim to
No.
fame.
He's a gold medalist husband.
The worst part is he was the starting safety for the Packers last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
house husband.
And see, that's
And
why
starting
that's why the
safety.
Xavier McKinney move is so big.
I love it.
Because we go from Simone Biles' husband to a guy who you actually know his name.
And he's 24. He's young.
Yeah, he's so
It's-
young. So
I
we're
love
gonna have him around for a long time. And I also saw that
I mean-
last time the Packers made this big of a splash in free agency, Woodson.
Charles Woodson.
won the Super Bowl. Reggie White won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So
Julius Peppers almost won the Super Bowl.
pretty good year that year. So I didn't want to bring up the Julius Peppers
Oh, yeah,
one because
that's fair.
we didn't win the Super
Yeah,
Bowl that
that's
year.
fair.
So
My bad.
it doesn't fit the narrative.
Just bringing
Um,
fishbowl energy back in.
Yeah, I know.
No
I'm
kidding.
almost getting
Jeez.
angry. It's like radiating over here.
Yeah, well, they got the crack
Well,
in the
yeah,
door
the
open
door's
there.
half
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just wafting out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's getting angry.
If
I'm
you're
gonna,
some man.
I'm gonna turn into the Hulk over here. And they still have $33 million left in cap space. So
Yeah, they cleared out a lot of
most
room.
likely use that to pay Jordan Love. But they could bring around another stud with the money they have left.
Bring me Jordan Fuller to finally just get both
Yeah.
safeties. Both
Yeah.
safeties. Don't even have to worry about it in the draft.
And I didn't expect the Packers to make this many moves at free agency. I mean, with a good year like that and so many young guys, you thought they were just gonna kind of
They're usually very big draft people.
Yeah,
like,
just kind of sit tight, draft good, and keep developing this young team. But they made exactly the right moves. They are still young with the moves they made and better. So definitely a win in free agency for the Packers. And the losers, I'm gonna have to go with the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they've just been they've been shedding like their entire team.
Everybody.
Jordan Poyer,
Their
Mitch
window is
Morse,
closed.
Tre'Davious White, lost Gabe Davis, lost Leonard Floyd. They lost over 5,000 snaps from last year.
Yep.
Like that's insane. And Micah Hyde is most likely gonna leave or sign with another team.
Micah, come back to the Packers.
There was a report that said he was interested.
I wouldn't
They
be
were
mad at
talking
that.
about
But
it.
how
Come
old is
back.
he now? Like
He's older, but I
Yeah.
mean, he's not bad.
Still
I think the
productive.
I think the craziest thing is the oldest player on the Green Bay Packers now is 30 years old.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
insane.
And it's Kenny Clark, right?
Average age is like 24.
There is only one player left on
young.
the Packers from the Ted Thompson era, and it's Kenny Clark.
That
I
is
love Kenny
nuts. Who is the oldest? Because Kenny Clark's 28. Who's
Yeah.
Preston.
Preston Smith? That's
Which is
who it
wild that
yep.
Kenny Clark is the oldest or one of the oldest guys on the team because I still remember when he got drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like yesterday, and it seems like should still be a young guy. So
Preston
I'm already
Smith.
past the Packers, but just a W free agency so far in off season, and then we still have the draft where we have like 11 picks. I
Yeah, we
believe.
got a lot of
5 picks
picks.
in the first 3 rounds.
Got a lot of picks. You can
make
move
some
up.
trades.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Could draft some more talent. Fill out that defense a little more. Just great stuff from the Packers. But yeah, the Bills. Who have they signed?
Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
Woo!
They signed Curtis Samuel before the show started.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But-
Well,
Eh.
that's great.
Really?
You can
Just-
go run second team with.
Giving
with,
up a lot of
He
guys.
might be their number 2.
Yeah, that's
and
just
there's
crazy.
still time left in free agency, obviously, but a lot of the big names are already gone and lost so much of your defense. You know, it's like,
yeah.
are they going to be in contention next year? I don't know. I'd probably say not.
I think their window is closed. I think it really
too.
is.
It's just cut on the Bills.
0 winners and losers.
Well, I'll start with the losers just because we were talking about it. I also had the Buffalo Bills because, again, for all the reasons you stated, shedding those players, and I'm not even sure what they have picked up. I was just focusing on everything they let go.
Trubisky.
Yeah.
Like,
Nothing.
Backup quarterback. Whoa.
The MVP. Put some respect on his name.
Not bad.
they might as well go out, put him at safety or something. Like,
I mean,
Yeah, maybe. He probably played both ways in
you know
high
who
school.
this leads to starting safety snaps? DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah. The one guy that they probably should have cut, but they didn't, simply
Ooh.
because he was like dead like a year
Literally.
ago.
Come back player of the year.
I'm sorry if this is like a hot
boy.
take, and
Oh,
this is
boy.
not supposed to be like disrespectful by any means. But this is purely looking at it from like a GM perspective. The only reason DeMar Hamlin is on that team is because that happened. Otherwise, he would have been cut already.
he doesn't add any value to that
He
team
has
at all.
no,
was getting
nothing. He was not good this year.
He was getting snaps before then.
Didn't he rush for like -1 yards because he like
Yeah.
got the ball behind
Yeah.
the line of scrimmage or something?
On the fake punt or whatever, yeah.
yeah.
But he was getting snaps before the injury. I will say that.
He was.
But
He was.
He almost got ejected from a game,
Yeah.
mind you.
Not before the injury, before the death
Yes.
Yeah, that,
on the
Yes.
field. Like,
My bad. My
He,
bad.
I mean,
That didn't
it's just
hurt, you
like he just wasn't good last year, and I don't know if he
Yeah.
just didn't get enough time, or maybe he'll have a rebound year. But to me, it's just like of all the guys that you cut, like maybe that he should have been one of them before you started cutting like your key players.
What are
But it
they-
also was a cap thing too,
what
so
are they paying
that is
him?
fairness.
It's not much. He's on a rookie
Yeah,
deal.
he's on
He
a
was
rookie
day
deal.
3
I'm
guy,
pretty
too,
sure. So
what were they thinking on that last play, dude? Like, wasn't it like a fake kick handoff to DeMar
Yeah.
Hamlin?
No,
it
yeah.
was.
Jeez.
I don't.
That's the last guy.
they just wanted him
They
to
were
like,
trying to
the
secure his
ball.
comeback
They
player. of the
wanted
year.
him to get a first down or something, so like
Yeah.
the entire rest of the broadcast and
I mean,
the
like-
entire media cycle could have been DeMar Hamlin, he's
gosh.
alive,
Yeah.
alive and well, DeMar Hamlin.
Right.
Jeez, dude.
Back to your winners though. Now,
For the winners, I'm going to do.
jeez, that really is seeping out here. Huh? It's just such a
I
negative
mean, we're all
show.
thinking it, right?
Dude, I feel like
all
we're in
thinking it.
Spider-Man 3 right now. I'm like this symbiosis.
Just realized, yeah, like
I'm
honestly.
gonna start walking around
Were
the
we
street
not
like
all
dancing
thinking-
like Tobey Maguire, dude.
Yeah,
Are
right.
we not all thinking it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're
I
all-
might need to move away from you. I'm trying to be happy over here.
I'm gonna.
Hey, that mic doesn't work. You have no other choice.
At this point, you're too far into the show. You
Yeah,
just got to
right.
let it.
Right.
Just let
right.
it take over.
For my winners, I did have the Vikings, as much as I don't like to admit it. Getting Aaron Jones and also signing Jonathan Greenard. I just think they also had a good.
I'm
Free
gonna
agency.
disagree with you there. I do like those signings, but the fact that they are going that right now slated to have Sam Darnold as their
Darnold.
starting
I'm
quarterback.
going to take her side on this because the defense actually looks really good. She didn't even mention Andrew Van Ginkel, Wisconsin legend.
Yeah, I mean that's great and all, but you got to get a quarterback, man. I mean,
They're gonna
and
trade up for J.J. McCarthy. They're fine.
JJ McCarthy is not starter level right now in
I'll
the
disagree.
NFL.
We'll
He's
disagree on
not starter level. I think
Nah.
that he's going to have a rough first year.
Yeah,
That's why you got Darnold to throw to the
bummed.
Wolves again.
Yeah,
Every
right,
single
dude.
team that he's
I
worked
wanted
for.
to I wanted to get some validity on this because Nick Demos, I don't know how you say his last name, came in and said this to me the other day. He said that T. Higgins might get traded for Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, no.
There's no chance.
There's no way.
No
He's
chance
just
that that
talking,
happens.
talking out of his blank,
Out of the side of his
as
neck.
Chris Pittner would say, talking out of his blank.
There's no chance
just
that it would
name-dropping
happen. Why
Chris
on
today.
earth would they ever trade Justin Jefferson for T. Higgins?
Because he wanted Kirk as their quarterback, dude.
I understand, but at the same time, like,
Well, I
Justin,
understand why
they're-
Justin Jefferson wouldn't want to be there anymore.
right, I understand why they want out, but as a Viking stand, they're not going to
No.
trade Justin Jefferson. They already said
Yeah,
that they weren't
yeah,
coming. Like,
no,
they're not going to
no.
do that. I mean, if it was for Jamar Chase, maybe, but like
Yeah.
T. Higgins, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that'll be a nice little segue here then, I guess, to close out this segment is where do you think T. Higgins is going? Because, I mean, there are a lot of different signings. I guess I didn't even say my winners and losers. My winners were, I thought that the Packers did win. I thought that they did have a good, a good draft or a good free agency period. And I'm going to say that the Bears, as much as it pains me to say, the Bears did win. I think that even though they did not trade Justin Fields, I think that they are setting themselves up, and my gut is now telling me that they are keeping Justin Fields because the quarterback market is gone. Who are they going to trade him to at this point? They're going MHJ at 1. They're doing it, and they're going to keep Justin Fields, which is the right move. And they will have DeAndre Swift now at running back too. But losers, 100% the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
they
I was
did
waiting for it.
nothing.
They signed
did
a long snapper.
nothing.
Hey, whoa.
They signed one long snapper.
He's going to save the team.
Is he a dog?
He's a dog.
Okay, yeah, that's all
Certified.
they
He's going
need.
to long snap them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. I mean,
America's long snap.
I understand you guys were the 2 seed last year in the NFC, but man, you need to do something. Like, you need to go out and start being competitive because it's just, you are not going to win the Super Bowl at this rate. But,
They're waiting to extend Dak and CD Lamb. What do you
oh,
mean?
wow. Yeah, let's run with Dak again. Trey Lance, they should give Trey Lance a shot.
Minnesota should give Trey Lance a shot. Hometown kid.
Who are they going to trade for him, though? That's the thing.
That's fair. That's fair.
I
I
think
don't-
overall, just like the biggest W in free agency was Kirk Cousins.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say
Yeah,
Atlanta has
him
an
personally,
my-
not for the
Atlanta
team.
had a big.
Him,
Yeah.
I
Not
mean,
for
yes,
the team,
Atlanta.
but for his family.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins.
Atlanta overpaid,
What was
but-
it, like 180
Yeah.
mil?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
For
way.
4 years.
It was 4 years too, and the man is 30. What, 36? Yeah, it's like
36 coming off the
crazy.
top.
Yeah, they're just
Achilles too.
making it rain on him right now. Like,
Okay.
he's
I
just-
don't know why
Every
every
team has.
every team gets him like an insane contract because he just picks his free agency right because like sometimes there are like a lot of good like quarterback prospects
Yeah.
out there, and then it's like this year and the year he was with Minnesota, it was like I'm the best quarterback prospect out here right now, and like you are going to overpay for me.
This quarterback market has been so weird. Like Desmond Ritter and Sam Howell getting traded today. Kirk, Gardner Minshew, even Joe Flacco, whatever. And then the quarterback class. It's insane quarterback class. But to Atlanta's point, they also picked up Darnell Mooney, which, he's a good number 2 guy. I'm just going to run with it. I said that Rondale Moore was going to get traded yesterday, and he did get traded today. So I'm going to victory lap on that one. Give myself a
That
pat
was
on
a
the back
good.
for
That was good.
Do you want a cookie?
Yes. Chocolate chip. please.
Jeez.
Have you been seeing what Cam Newton's been saying about like the Kirk Cousins? thing,
Yeah.
though?
Has he been
He
typing
wants
it
in the
that,
league
like-
so bad.
I mean, Cam, you've had
sign him to a
opportunities.
10-day. Just sign him to a 10-day.
Dude, he had his opportunity with the Patriots.
Said
He
many-
lost it.
many
He did
opportunities.
very
Tight end.
bad with the
That's
Patriots.
so true.
He could be a tight end.
Okay, he's not Tim Tebow.
He could be a running back, dude.
But he was just like kind of talking hot about Kirk Cousins. He's just like, man, you have a great agent.
He's
Not
mad.
even saying like you deserved it. Or, he's mad about
He's
it.
upset.
He's jealous.
He
He
is
might be
upset.
sitting in the fishbowl over there, dude.
He has been lately. He's starting fights on Twitter and in real life and
In his
everything.
camp?
Yeah.
Does he still type with that like
Yes.
weird like Mandarin font
Yes.
almost?
He had that like fight with kids in his camp. He was like
Yeah.
fighting with children.
He got jumped. Like I would also fight
Yeah.
whoever if there's 8 of them and I'm getting outmade. Like I'm surprised he didn't lose.
We'd like to interrupt this broadcast to advertise Alex Lazarini's football camp this weekend.
He is not condoning fighting before we do anything.
Right,
Yeah, right.
But I will be taking mixed martial arts classes and not training for football before.
Okay, so before we close this topic out so we can get to our last one, where do you think T. Higgins is going to land, Sierra?
I think it'd be cool to see him go back home to the Tennessee Titans.
Okay, yeah, you could pair up with the Mayo Eater,
Yeah.
Will Levis.
The mayo eater.
He likes mayo in his coffee.
Mayo in
You
his
didn't know about
coffee.
that?
In his
Eating-
coffee.
In his
Yeah.
coffee.
In his coffee.
I don't even like
That's
coffee in
bold.
my coffee, let alone mayo.
Exactly.
dude.
And then he eats
Exactly.
the actual banana peel as well.
He's just a disgusting human being as far as like his food habits, but
That's an easy guy to hate on. We're hating
Yeah.
on people. What are you doing, dude?
I just I can't even think of anything quick enough.
just dumbfounded. Colin, who's T.
I think the
Higgins?
Titans are also a good option just because, the Bengals aren't going to want to trade him to a contender, and the Titans aren't. And that would be a good spot for him. Also, like the Falcons, if they can get it done, just adding more offensive weapons, more of a WR1 kind of guy.
Yeah, but like
Drake
don't
London
steal
slander?
targets from Drake London because he's on my fantasy
Drake
team.
London
like
slander.
He's gonna get some targets stolen
Drake
from him. It's
London
gonna
is
happen.
about to become unlocked
he is
this
a dog.
year.
Your
Same with
fantasy
Kyle
draft?
Pitts.
He is a dog.
No, it's my dynasty league, so it's just my keeper stuff.
Kyle
So
Pitts is gonna go off next year for sure.
I hope so. I hope so.
You know that video of LeBron with the tight ends? Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
Dog.
yeah. He's like looking at the computer, reading the top 5 tight ends. Kyle Pitts, dog.
Kyle Pitts.
Dog.
Travis
Dog.
Kelce, dog.
Basketball.
Um,
Okay, Mason.
I'm gonna just say he stays. I don't think they're gonna trade him.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, I think they could potentially finally come to a long-term deal.
Happened with Josh Jacobs last year.
Yep, and if he were to get traded, I would like to see him potentially go to Arizona. They got some draft capital. They got a late-round first-round pick. They got an early second-round pick as well as some extra draft capital. I'd like to see that happen. Pair him up with the actual Marvin Harrison Jr. spot.
Okay.
Him and Marv are going to be in
He's
the
gonna be
Yeah.
on the Bears.
No, he's not.
They would have traded Fields already.
I was gonna say they kind of hit it right on the head. I was either gonna say that he stays or goes to Atlanta. I don't know. I just have that gut feeling that he's gonna stay.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
they're-
possible.
Yeah.
They're not a bad team, and I think healthy.
Sport, he wants to get money. He doesn't
they're
want to play on a
contender,
franchise
you know?
tag. Yeah. I also think that Atlanta's probably my number one right now, or I thought that he's just going to play on the franchise tag. I don't think he's going to sign any long-term deal this
Yeah,
year.
and then
I think
leave
he'll
after
just
that.
play on the franchise tag and, maybe leave after that. But it would be, I think, in the best interest for Cincinnati to trade him because you can't just keep franchise taking him
No.
every year. And you are far away because you're paying Jamar Chase, obviously, wide receiver one salary, and that's what T. Higgins is looking for. You can't pay two guys wide receiver one salary.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
got to do that Chase deal here pretty quick.
Yeah.
I think he's going to maybe get it done this offseason.
And I mean, they're gonna most likely lose Tyler Boyd, so like they really need a number 2. So Higgins needs to stick around for them, but I just don't think they're moving him. All right, for our final topic today, we got a little bit of time to talk about Selection Sunday being 3 days away, 3 days till madness. Everybody, we're going to discuss a lot of the conference tournaments going on so far, including Wisconsin's whooping of Maryland today. And we're going to talk about the things like the Big 12 tourney, the ACC tourney, any tournament you want to talk about, feel free to. And also we're going to talk about a few of the schools that have already crowned a champion and gotten the auto bid into the tournament. And a big part of it is the bubble watch. Who do you think is going to be your last 4 in and who are your first 4 out? So we'll start with that and we will go to Alex first. Alex, last 4 teams in, first 4 teams out if the tournament started this instant.
Jeez. Okay, so I never really came to like a big realization on it. I have my top 4 teams as like Purdue, UConn, Houston. That's really it. That's 3 teams I know, but it's like those are the top 3 teams.
Yeah,
in
they're the bread and
college
butters.
basketball. So them going out anywhere before the Elite 8 is just like I can't even imagine it. I feel like when it comes to these teams, this year is probably like the most dominant we've seen these teams in a long time.
I feel like the line between number one and everything else
Yeah.
is just
Really
the
tough.
first
Like,
three number ones,
Yeah.
I should say, because the fourth number one is kind of a toss-up right now between like Tennessee, North Carolina, Arizona, and like the other three number ones have just been head and shoulders above everybody this year. I feel
Right.
like.
I mean, they can all play against each other, and it's going to be a good, close game no matter what.
Do you have any bubble teams you think that like are on the line of maybe they'll get in the tournament, maybe they won't, that could get in?
Indiana State.
Thank
Who's
you.
that- who's
Yeah,
that
the
dude?
Sycamores,
Who's
baby.
the dude with the glasses?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Dude, he is destined to
Who's
be
that
a March
least?
Madness legend.
He's like a 40% three-point shooter.
Yeah.
He's built like Bubble
cold.
Bass
He's
from
cold.
SpongeBob.
Like Bubble Bass.
You know Bubble Bass.
That's I know who Bubble
pickle
Bass
guy?
is. Yeah, I'm
What?
just
Is
saying.
Is that the pickle guy?
Yes, you forgot the pickles.
No pickles.
What a random.
Oh, what a show.
He probably does play with like pickles under his tongue. They help with
Probably.
cramps.
Robbie
Oh,
do they?
Avila. Robbie
do.
Avila is
Yeah, Robbie.
Big Rob.
big Robbie. Dude, he is destined to be a March Madness legend. Like
He's got
Doug
the look.
Eddard, like Doug Eddard
Yeah.
level, like Matt or legend level.
He's got the look and he's got the skill.
They need to put Indiana State in as an at-large because they deserve it.
This guy. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, just don't.
Don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably agree
He
with
just
you
kind
and
of
say
looks
let's
like a tax consultant.
a tax consultant.
What's his major? What do you think his
Yeah.
major is?
We
Finance.
find
Let's
that
look it up.
information out.
Pickles.
Let's find out Bobby's major.
Okay, while Lass is on that case, let's hear from Mason. Mason, your thoughts. What's one bubble team you think could be in, and one you think should be out?
I've got the last four and the first four out.
Okay.
So I'm going to go St. John's is in there. Indiana State, I'm glad we all kind of agree on that. We love to see the dude with the glasses get in there.
Sycamores, baby.
Colorado and Texas A&M. I'm going to go, I
okay.
think Texas A&M is kind of the one weird one out that most people are seeing right now. The first four out, Virginia and Wake Forest. I know they kind of playing almost like tonight or
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah,
next
Wake
few days.
Forest is in a situation where if they lose, they're out, I
Yeah.
think.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
They have to go on a little bit of a run, probably. But I
then-
like Wake Forest. I think that they should. I think they should be in.
And then I'll go with New Mexico, and then Iowa kind of goes on a run, but
Oh, they
don't
lost
make
today.
it. Oh,
Wake Forest lost to Pitt,
Oh, well.
81-69.
Ooh,
So that's pretty much done for
well,
they are
the Demon
out.
Deacons.
they are out. That is correct.
First four
Um,
out. Yep.
But there's also some games going on right now. I saw like some of the interest ones that I saw, like San Diego State as of right now is up on who are they playing? I cannot see it because my phone is almost about to die. UNLV. They are not up on UNLV. They're actually losing now. Quick turnaround from the last time I looked. Another team like UCLA and Oregon are in a tightly fought battle right now, but like I'm excited. Like this is kind of like the first like March Madness I've been excited for in a while because I actually had the chance to actually watch instead of
Yeah.
being diagnosed with like so much homework I can't.
Yeah.
But like I'm glad I actually get to watch this.
Happens over spring break, baby. It's gonna be so awesome. First weekend is gonna be like Thursday, Friday,
I can't
Saturday,
wait.
Sunday of spring
I
break.
remember in high school we would literally just not do anything and we just
Yeah.
have
Oh, yeah.
March Madness on instead of doing
Yeah.
anything. Even in like English class. Like I love those teachers. Be like those teachers. Like if you're looking for a
Oh,
high
yeah.
school career, if you're looking to be a high
I had a
school
math
teacher,
like that.
be like those
Well, the best part
teachers.
about college is that you can be those teachers. You don't
Yes.
need to tell, hey, can you turn the March Madness game on? No, it's me opening up my laptop and throwing the March Madness game on. Or more realistically, nobody heard this, but me staying at home and throwing my projector up on the wall. And
Oh, and you
Watching
skip
March
classes? How
no, I
How
don't. I
dare
do not. I do not skip classes.
For the record.
I fall under the weather around the same time every year. It's just the strangest
Weird.
thing.
It's the
Yeah.
weather change.
The
Yeah,
strangest
I
thing.
get a bad case
it's so
of
weird.
mono every
Yeah.
late March.
It's just like I don't want to make anybody sick, so I.
Yeah, exactly.
I stay home and
I got- I'm
it's
doing it
just
for the good of my
fortunately
community.
there's basketball.
Right. It's just like, oh,
March
I guess
Madness
I
fever
guess
is a
I'll
real
turn
thing.
this on.
It affects millions of kids across the country every year. March Madness fever.
Yeah, right.
I think I'm coming down with a case right now. I've been sniffling a lot. But my first four out, you got Texas A&M. Obviously, Wake Forest is out. New Mexico and Villanova. And then last four in, we've got some interesting ones. Colorado, Virginia, and St. John's. They are in a situation where they play Seton Hall tonight. I don't know if that's tonight or when it is, but in the Big East tournament. And if they lose that,
They're going to be out.
But
Oh, they won against Seton Hall today.
all right, there you go.
They beat Seton Hall. That means Seton Hall might be out. They are
Seton
going to be
Hall,
on the
I
line
believe,
now
is
too,
out.
because they were like hovering right around there too, and
Yeah.
that's a tough loss for them because
It
they lost
is.
by quite a
That
bit.
was a big game for both those schools. So Let's go St. John's. I had them on my last 4 in, so I'm rooting
Nice.
for them. But also Indiana State.
Sycamores.
Because of Bobby, because of Robbie Avila.
They did good against Drake.
They're
They've had a
they're
good season
team,
this year.
and they've got their spokesperson, their figurehead.
The alma mater
Yeah, he's like
of
a
Larry Bird.
perfect March Madness kind of guy.
Yeah.
You know, just got to root for.
Sierra, thoughts on which bubble teams might get in or out?
Before I go into my bubble teams, I'm going to go back to that high school conversation. I remember it was my senior year of high school, and I wasn't big into basketball at the time. But I remember we had like the school Chromebooks, and because everybody was watching it, they went in on the laptops and like disabled the website.
Gosh.
The amount of angry
Ops.
high school seniors that year, bubble
Ops, bro.
energy for real.
No, you just see they did that at our school too. And you know what? The best way of getting around, I would just download VPNs
VPN.
and like just
Yeah.
start like going on it anyways. But you're just like, how did you get on
Yeah,
that?
Stream East it the whole entire
Yeah,
time.
Yeah,
Stream
exactly.
East, legends.
Stream East has been buffering on me lately, man.
Yeah, what do you mean? What's
been
Stream
buffering a
East?
lot.
I never watched Stream East.
Oh, I don't know, man.
You guys are piraters.
But I had a very similar last 4 in, last 4 out. For my first 4 out, I had Texas A&M, Wake Forest, New Mexico, and Villanova, and then for the last 4 in, Colorado, Virginia, St. John's, and Seton Hall. Or not Seton Hall, Indiana State. My bad.
Indiana State. All right. I am going to have a similar last 4 in. I think that it's going to be St. John's, Indiana State. Give me Virginia and give me New Mexico. I think Colorado's out right now. But I think New Mexico, they play Boise State tonight. And I think if they win, they're in. Like they're in the tournament, no doubt. And what's crazy is that the Mountain West Conference could have more schools than conferences like the ACC, the Big Ten.
That's
Because
insane.
if you think about it, so if New Mexico like wins tonight, I think they're in based on like an at-large bid.
Yeah.
And if you have a team like UNLV run the table and get in, you're going to have Boise State, Colorado State, Nevada, New Mexico, San Diego State, I think is in there. They have a lot of, I don't know who I'll just name, maybe Colorado State, I think. But yeah, they have a lot of teams that could get in there at like 7, which is just crazy. So, yeah, I mean, the Mountain West has been on fire. So, and for my last 4 out, or my first 4 out, I'm going to go Pittsburgh as they got a win today in the ACC. I will go Texas A&M. I will go Colorado. And I will go Seton Hall now. I think Seton Hall just officially dropped out today. So, very interesting stuff as we wind down to the last few minutes here as we're our bubble teams, and we will be looking forward to March Madness Selection Sunday coming up this Sunday. We are going to, everybody on the Thursday show, we are going to fill out a bracket ahead of time because obviously by the time we're on the show next Thursday, assuming we do the show on Thursday, I still need to double check, but if we do the show on Thursday next week, obviously the games will have already been started, so we can't do one on the show, but we'll do one ahead of time and we'll talk about our
You're going to
picks
do like an
and stuff
ESPN
like that.
thing.
Yeah, we'll do
Yeah.
our one on like, March
Yeah,
Madness
yeah,
app or
whatever, yeah.
someplace. So
Just making sure I didn't have to physically write
no,
my entire
no,
bracket.
it's okay. But yeah, we are on to final thoughts. Thank you again, Sierra, for joining us today. We appreciate you joining on the conversation and bringing the NHL topic. Any final thoughts on your return show to Hawk Talk?
Thank you. I've had so much fun coming back today. I really, truly did miss being on Hawk Talk, and
You got on the hate episode.
I know it was kind of fun.
Isn't it?
I kind of like it.
This,
I guess if I had to come up with a final thought, Matt Rempe from the New York Rangers has been suspended for 4 games because
What?
What'd he do?
he elbowed a player in the face.
Aren't you supposed to do that? in
what
hockey?
a!
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
But
say,
like he
Hey,
went
great
out of his
job.
way to do it. Like it wasn't like an accidental. Like he skated across.
No, that's
the
a hockey
rink.
play right there.
dude, that is a perfect final thought for the show that we've
Yeah.
had today. That was
Yeah.
Yeah.
excellent.
More hate.
Yeah,
More
more hate.
I might elbow
Stack it up on
somebody as
top.
soon as the show's over.
I'm just gonna go
Watch out,
check the
Sierra.
first person I see in the
Yeah.
hallway.
He's
We're
got
gonna
like
have back to
more.
slap fighting from last week.
Yeah. right.
Yeah.
He's got like more career penalty minutes than he does actual game time in the NHL.
Jeez.
So what you're saying is he's a dog.
He's my idol. He's my idol.
Yeah.
Very aggressive player.
Colin,
This is a
quickly.
topic that you put if we had time. We don't have time. I'm going to talk about it briefly. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. This is just a mockery of the sport of boxing. I hate this. I hope Mike Tyson beats the living blank out of Jake Paul.
He's 57 years old, man. He does not
Did you
deserve to
see
be
that
in the
training
ring.
footage? That training footage, he looked on point.
He's scary.
He'd
Yeah, it
still
was
beat
sped
me
up.
up.
But he's
It was
throwing
sped
the
up.
fight. You know that's the only reason he's doing this. is
It's
for
probably
money.
going to end in a draw again.
He's throwing the dance.
some
He's throwing the fight.
stupid
He's throwing the
stuff.
fight.
Just, can't believe that's happening. That's like a cartoon headline.
It's crazy. Any final thoughts from right here? We got about like 40 seconds.
Okay, I'll keep it quick. Bo Nix better start learning Denver Bronco.
I didn't find Robbie Avila's major, but I did find some of his nicknames. Robbie Buckets, Larry
Yes.
Larry Nerd,
Robbie Buckets.
Larry Nerd goes
Steph
hard.
Blurry,
Larry
Steph
Nerd
Blurry
is
because of the
crazy.
glasses. I love
Steph
it.
Blurry,
All right,
and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
We gotta wrap it up. That was an excellent way to end the show.
Thank you.
Larry Nerd is going to streak Indiana State into the Final Four this year. But this has been Hawk Talk on Thursday. Thank you so much for watching on 91.7 The Edge WSUWI. What are on UWW TV? Have a good night. Bye.